In this video, I'm gonna show you how to create an illustrated travel journal, combining watercolor sketches and the travel memories that you jotted down on your trips. And we're gonna make it super easy to make for every skill level, with tips and ideas that you can use on hundreds more creative projects. Hi everyone, this is Carlo and welcome back to my channel. Keeping an illustrated travel journal is one of the best and most creative ways to cherish your travel memories. And why not also romanticize them a bit? I want to show you an easy way to make your own illustrated travel journal without necessarily having an amazing talent for sketching or having done anything like this before. So make sure you stay until the end and take your notes, and let's get it started. First of all, we need a blank page support for our journal. Since we're working with watercolor, we want a paper that is resistant enough so it won't engulf or, even worse, disintegrate completely when you apply water on it. I'm using a sketchbook made with Khadi paper, which has a nice grain to it, and I love the texture. But you can use any watercolor sketchbook. I will recommend a paper that weighs 160 GSM or more for the best results. Start planning what the layout of your page will be. Decide where you want to place your illustrations, where you're gonna write your text, if there will be different chapters or columns, if there will be a title. I'm dedicating this page to my recent trip to San Francisco, so that will be the title that I will place here. And I will write my journaling notes in the remaining space. For your illustrations, flick through the photos of your trip and choose the ones that speak to you the most. The ones that are particularly connected to the travel experience you're writing about, or remind you of precise moments you want to be able to remember and relive when you open the journal once again in the future. Those will be your reference photos. Now, if you are a skilled sketcher, you can just simply draw those images directly on your notebook. But because we are making it easy here, we're gonna use tracing paper, which is literally our best friend. It's very noisy as well. Open your reference photos on your laptop, and with an editing app for images, flip them horizontally. We're gonna use the screen as a light box. So we will place our tracing paper on the screen, and with a soft pencil, we will draw the lines of the subject. Now we have our images sketched on the tracing paper. What we have to do is turn them around and position them on the journal, making sure the pencil mark is on the side touching the journal. We set them in place with a bit of tape, and with the pencil we go over all the lines, so they get transferred to the journal. Once we remove the tracing paper, if the lines are not very visible, we can of course mark them with pencil, and we can add more elements and details. Time to get wet and messy. Wink. PG-rated tutorial. Take 2 glasses of clean water and open your watercolor set. For this stage, we want to suggest the general tones of the image with a wet-on-wet technique. Wet color applied on wet paper. With a brush, apply some clean water over the sketch. And after that, start dabbing some light watercolor tones on the image. Keep the color light and watery. We don't want any strong colors at this stage. And don't worry if the colors bleed into each other or go over the lines, because it's all part of the effect we are going for. Feel free to create patches of watery color in other zones of the page if you like. We let this first layer dry thoroughly. And once it's dry, we take some watercolorable pencils and we continue the coloring of our images. I normally go for oblique pencil marks, keeping the pencil light so you can easily mix different colors, like I did on this bridge. I cross the marks in the areas that have shadows, and I also add further details. Now it comes the magic of the watercolorable pencils, because with a wet brush we're gonna apply water on the drawing. The pencil mark will liquefy, and the color will blend into a beautiful watercolor effect. This stage can be repeated if you want 2 or 3 times to add more depth of color. Just be sure every layer dries completely before working on it again. Once the coloring is done, I like to work on the images with a Fineliner pen. Uniball and Staedtler have a great range of fineliners that will make your drawings really pop from the page. Here I used a 0.2 and a 0.05mm one. For your title, if you are very good at lettering, you can simply handwrite your title where you want it to be. Otherwise, here's a simple way. Go on Canva or on Office Word, choose a font that you like, and write your title. Then you print it out, you cut it to size, and you turn it around. With a very soft pencil, I've used a 3B here, cover very well the area behind the title. We're gonna basically replicate the principle of the carbon copy. Place the title on the page, secure it with tape, and with the pen go over the lines to transfer the title on the paper. Color it with pencils, and add all the details that you want. Our page is really getting there. Now we just need an idea to make it even more special. Grab a page of watercolor paper, and with some masking tape, secure it to a piece of cardboard, or directly to your work table. Using the tape, we want to create a grid of small squares. Like this. With the wet on wet technique we used before, we're going to apply watercolor to the different squares. Browse the pictures from your trip to get inspired, and choose a color scheme that reminds you of particular moments from your holiday. Let the page dry completely, remove the tape, and cut the squares, leaving a thin border around 3 of the 4 sides, and a wider border on the bottom side, like Polaroid photos usually look like. Use a white Posca marker to even out mistakes. I've been very messy, you probably will be more precise than me. And your little Polaroids are ready. You can write a particular location or a date to remember and glue them on your journal page. You can also use them for your future creative projects. It's time to transfer all your journal notes on the page. You can write all the memories that you want to keep, the addresses to remember, your feelings and impressions. And you can personalize the guidelines that I gave you to make your own journal. That's the beauty of creativity. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please leave a like below and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.